So gusto mong subukan maglaro ng Senna? What's up guys, Shibu the one for and I'm making this a video. A new video series, no? Creating basic champion guides para sa inyo. At para sa series na to, ang pinakaunang champion itatakal natin ay isa sa mga pinakabagong champion para sa League of Legends Wild Rift, si Senna. Ngayon for a quick introduction para kay Senna. Sa mga di nakakaalam, Senna is a support champion na actually asawa ni Lucian. Isa rin sa mga bagong champions ng Wild Rift. Senna lore-wise is actually already dead at nabuhay na lang mula sa pagkamatay kasi yung soul niya ay na-recover from being trapped mula kay Thresh. Ngayon si Thresh wala rin pa sa Wild Rift pero he's definitely one of the most awaited champions to come. Ngayon nung nabawi yung kaluluwa ni Senna, hindi lang actually kaluluwa niya yung nagbalik. Kasama na rin yung iba pang mga kaluluwa na membro ng Sentinels of Light. At kasama rin syempre doon yung soul fragment ni Isolde, ang asawa naman ni Viego. Ngayon sa ongoing story ng League of Legends, itong Ruination event, naglalaban ang puwersa nitong Sentinels of Light versus the Ruined. At ang leader nga ng Sentinels of Light ay si Senna. As a playable champion, Senna is a support poke utility champion with medium difficulty pero brings good damage and healing into the team, not to mention she scales really well pagdating sa late game. Silipin natin yung skills niya. Una muna ay ang passive ni Senna, ang Absolution. Ngayon itong passive niya na Absolution has two parts on it. Merong ini-stack na stats itong si Senna na tinatawag na miss. Itong miss na to ay nag-respawn mula sa mga dead enemies, surely from champions and epic monsters at minsan sa mga minions, lalo na sa canon minion. Pwede rin siya makakuha ng miss stack sa mga champions na inatake niya na ng 2 beses within 4 seconds. And if makuha niya nga itong miss stack na to, she will actually deal 2% ng current health sa kalaban as bonus physical damage. Tapos, kada stack nitong miss na to grants her 1 attack damage. So, yeah, yes, 1:1. Kung sa isang game makakuha ka ng 100 stacks, yes, meron kang makukuha na 100 damage mula lang sa passive mo. Tapos, kada 20 stacks naman ng miss, bibigyan si Senna nito ng 25 attack range at 15% critical strike chance. So, tandaan nyo hindi every miss stack meron ka makukuhang attack range. Kada 20. And seryoso, malaking bagay itong plus 25 attack range. Kumbaga, 40 stacks plus 50 attack range ka na. And interestingly, 35% ng sobrang crit chance ni Senna, ibig sabihin higit sa 100%, ay nako-convert sa physical bump. So, for example, kunyari nag-full crit build ka na Senna, no? 4 na critical items. So, 100% na yon. Tapos, may crit chance ka pa mula doon sa mistack mo. Yung 35% nun hindi yung buong crit chance na yon magiging physical bump. So, yeah, actually, kapag tinodo-todo mo yung crit chance mo, magkakaroon ka ng mga 5 to 10% pa rin na physical bump. Pero may crit ka. And hindi mo kailangan mag-build din ng physical bump items kay Senna. Kaso yun lang medyo malabo gawin yun sa isang actual na game. Lalo na kung yung role mo support. Kasi syempre, kukulangin ka sa gold. Ngayon, hindi pa tapos yung kanyang passive. Meron pang ikalawang bahagi yung kanyang passive, which is called the Relic Cannon. Yung Relic Cannon basically makes Senna take extra time to fire. Mabagal siya bumanat. Pero meron tong bonus physical damage. And it also grants Senna a 10% ng movement speed ng binanatan niya. Also, as a final note for this passive, walang nakukuhang damage si Senna, no, as she levels up. At yung kanyang mga critical strike, it deals 50% less damage. So, parang ang gulo, no? Medyo malabo. Pero basically, ito na lang ang pansinin nyo kay Senna, no? Kahit wala siyang offensive items, no, which is madalas naman para sa mga support, mataas pa rin yung mga base damages niya. Meron siyang percentage health damage mula sa kanyang miss passive. Meron siyang bonus physical damage mula sa kanyang Relic Cannon. May movement speed pa siya. Plus, malupit din yung iba pa niyang mga skills. Ang skill 1 niya ay tinatawag na Piercing Darkness. Piercing Darkness is a projectile na linear attack na may damage sa kalaban at hinihil naman ang kakampi mo. And ang cool din sa kanya, yung auto-attack mo, binabawasan yung cooldown ng Piercing Darkness by 1 second. Nag-a-apply din yung Piercing Darkness ng on-hit effects such as the Grasp of the Undying. And pwede mong mapabilis yung cast time nito by adding attack speed. Isa sa mga pinakamagandang utility ng Piercing Darkness is it's actually a poke skill, no? Na pwede mong ipambanat sa kalaban just by targeting your ally in front of you. And although hindi niya hinihil yung minions, this includes minions as targets and even wards. So, yeah, no? Pag ginamit mo yung Piercing Darkness, pwede yun ma-extend sa may bandang dulo and therefore reach your target. Yung second skill naman ni Senna ay tinatawag na Last Embrace. It's a slow projectile spell that deals damage on the first enemy hit. Pero after a 1 second delay, yung tinamaan nito at kahit yung mga katabi niya ay maruroot for 1.3 seconds. Remember guys that the root status is very different from stun. Ibig sabihin kapag naroot ka, hindi ka lang pwede gumalaw pero pwede kang mag-cast ng spells. So ingat-ingat din yung mga Senna mains kung makikipag-trade sila on someone that is rooted. Ang third skill naman ni Senna ay tinatawag na Curse of the Black Mist. After a small delay, Senna will dissolve into a cloud mist na tumatagal ng 6 seconds. Ngayon yung kakampi na papasok dun sa Cloud of Mist will become camouflage. Ngayon ang camouflage guys, kaya camouflage yung term at hindi invisible kasi ang camouflage it basically breaks kapag may malapit na kalaban. Pag lumabas naman yung mga kampi mo mula doon sa Cloud Mist, magigis silang rate. Ngayon itong rate 4 mas mabilis yung movement speed nila by 20%. Not to mention, they are unselectable. So ibig sabihin hindi sila pwede tamaan ng targeted spells pero pwede silang tamaan ng projectile spells. Targeted spells or skills are those na tina-target lang diretso at hindi nagmimintes. Whereas projectile spells are actually skills na tinututok at pwede mong i-dodge. Finally, yung ultimate ni Senna, ang Dawning Shadow. Ang Dawning Shadow ay isang global ult na kayang i-shield ang mga kakampi kung saan yung shield ay nag-i-scale sa kanyang AP at sa miss stacks niya. While at the same time, may damage rin ito sa kalaban with a base damage and also scales both on AP and AD. Nag-a-apply rin ito ng miss sa kalaban. Also, I want to mention na pwede mong gamitin yung first skill at ult ni Senna pang collect din ng miss. Ngayon, para sa skill priority, una mong minamax out ay yung first skill mo, ikalawa naman yung second, and finally yung third. Obviously, kunin mo yung ultimate mo when it is available. Ngayon, tumingin tayo sa items and rune builds ni Senna. Isa sa mga popular builds para kay Senna is actually of the health stacking build, Grass of the Undying. So, para sa runes muna, along with the Grass of the Undying, pwede kang pumili ng brutal o kaya weakness, habang resolve rune mo naman ay ang adaptive carapace. One of the best resolve runes right now is actually adaptive carapace. Like as a general resolve rune, no? Pero syempre, kung maraming crowd control ang kalaban at alam mong aabutan at aabutan ka nito, okay din mag-Hunter Titan. Kung alam mo naman na may mga high burst assassin sila na madaling makakapasok sa'yo, then you can also use bone plating. Habang sa inspiration runes, may dalawa akong recommendation para sa'yo. Ang una kong isasuggest at madalas kong ginagamit ay ang mana flow band. With the mana flow band alone at yung mahabang cooldowns actually ni Senna, hindi ko na kailangan mag-build pa ng mana mune. With this, ang magiging priority items ko ay Black Cleaver kaagad kasama rin ang Frozen Mallet. Alam ko na with Senna, medyo mahirap makuha yung full stacks or armor shred ng Black Cleaver, pero sadyang maganda lang talaga ang stats ng Black Cleaver, not to mention ang mura niya pa. Habang yung Frozen Mallet naman works really well with the Grass of the Undying, and remember nga na yung first skill mo ay kayang i-proc din yung Frozen Mallet. Ngayon kung palagay mo sa early game okay lang na wala yung health na pinoprovide ng Black Cleaver, then pwede kang mag-mana muna build. Pero papalitan mo yung inspiration rune mo ng Hunter Genius build. Kasi sobra-sobra na yun kapag naka-mana flow band ka at mana mune. Ang haba ng cooldowns ni Senna, mahirap ubusin yung ganong klaseng mana. So sayang. Para naman sa boots, ang suggestion ko ay sweep boots. Napaka-importante na makakapag-in-out ka sa mga laban at actually makaka-responde ka. At para sa enchantment na ito, nakadepende kung mag-quicksilver ka, stasis, pero ang madalas kong gamitin is actually proto belt. Para sa mga kiting champions na tulad ni Senna, maganda na may extra dash ka. By the way, this is a Senna support build Ngayon for the third item, my suggestion would be Mortal Reminder. Dahil at the end of the day, support champion ka at napaka-importante na meron kang anti-heal para sa mga tanks o kaya duelists and even sustain champions. Ngayon sa 5th or 6th item, dito ka pwede maging creative. Remember din kasing support ka, no? So unless the game really drags out, medyo bihira ka makakarating dito sa 5th and 6th item. Pero one good choice would be Rapid Fire Cannon. Para mas madali ka makaka-poke, makaka-kite, and not to mention, kumuha din ng mistacks mo. Another option as a 5th item would be the Yumus Ghost Blade, you know? Hindi masama laging may movement speed at cooldown reduction para kay Senna. Not to mention, may armor penetration ka pa that you can fully utilize, especially with your high AD by the late game. And finally, as a 6th item, you can go with the Guardian Angel or even a tank item such as Randuin's Omen o kaya Force of Nature. Basically, this build relies on the Grass of the Undying procs by increasing your already high damage provided by the mistacks using health stacking. Plus, may mga utilities ka such as movement speed, anti-heal, and penetration. For the spells as a support, it can be your choice, no? Along with Flash, you can go with Ignite, Heal, or Exhaust. Barrier, I'm not so sure, no? Medyo walang supporting factor yung barrier. Ngayon for the playstyle, no? During the laning phase, whether you're on Mana Flow Band or Mana Mune, given that poke champion si Senna, napaka-importante na mangharas ka during the laning phase. Utilize your range and abuse the fact na pwede kang mang-poke ng enemy champions even with the minions in front of you. With the last Embrace, pwede mo ring i-pressure yung enemy laner mo by spamming it, pero my recommendation would be to really just hold it and use it for counter and poke with your first skill. Whereas yung Curse of the Black Mist naman, you can use that skill offensively or defensively. Pwede mo siyang gamitin in actually aiding your jungler in setting up a gank by making him a rate bago pa man siya makarating sa lane, o kaya naman gamitin yung extra movement speed in chasing down your targets or escaping nga from a gank. Also remember na kahit mukhang wide yung ult ni Senna, medyo tricky yun ipatama, pero ang pinaka-solid na bahagi doon is the shield. So do not hesitate to cast it, especially kapag may nakikita ka naglalaban sa ibang bahagi ng mapa. Lalo na kung may mga champions na nagkakadikitan, gamitin mo na kaagad yung shield mo. It could be the difference of your ally winning or losing his lane. Remember din na pwede mong gamitin yung Piercing Darkness over wards. And finally, abuse the fact na mahaba at humahaba yung range mo by using your auto attacks. Tanda na kahit mabagal ang auto attacks ni Senna, mataas ang damage nito. At binabawasan nito yung cooldown ng Piercing Darkness. During the mid game, no, although you are stacking health, do not ever think na Senna is a frontline champion. Promise, pag tinalunan ka ng Camille, pag nahuli ka ng kahit sinong duelist, mahirap makatakas sa Senna. So just stay into the backline and anticipate yung engage ng kalaban. Senna has a very nice kit for counter engaging. Meron siyang AoE stun, meron siyang movement speed enchantment para sa kakampi, meron din siyang shield, at meron nga siyang heal. So during turret takes and even dragon fights, yes, pwede mong i-damage or i-back yung objective, pero always anticipate talaga yung pagsugod ng kalaban at counter with the last embrace. If a teamfight breaks out, gamitin mo kaagad yung ultimate mo. Kasi yung shield pumapatong talaga yun sa maximum health. At siguradong limado kaagad yung teammates mo kapag meron silang shield sa simula pa lang ng laban. And alam mo yun, para hindi masabing di mo nabitawan yung shield at ult mo, diba? And again, because you have a lot of mana, do not hesitate on spamming the Curse of the Blacksmith, no? Hindi lang sa pag-setup ng mga laban, you can also use the bonus movement speed in rotating around the map. Ganoon din ang magagawa nito para sa mga teammates mo. And yeah, just be patient, no? Always get that stack when you can. Kasi tandaan mo, kahit support ka, pagdating ng late game, 1:1 ang ratio ng miss to physical damage. So yeah, I'm confident to say Senna does scale into the late game. May kasama pa yung rage. And a Senna that arrives into her late game form is actually a considerable threat para sa kalaban. So yeah, no, as a general description para kay Senna at sa mga gustong maglaro nito, Senna is a support champion for players who wants to take a more offensive role that scales into the late game. Pwede ka naman maging active na support, lalo na kung utility o tank ang gamit mo. Pero sa pool ng support ngayon, bihira yung support unless you're a poke support na meron kang decenteng damage. Lalo pa AD damage. At eto nga, we got Senna, no? You have good damage, you have crowd control, you have movement speed, you have stealth, you have shield, you have sustain, you have amazing range, no? Ang kapalit lang talaga dito is may pagka-squishy at immobile siya. Pero you can easily mitigate that by stacking health and utilize your Grasp of the Undying. And yun talaga yung trade-off ng mga poke champions. Lagi namang immobile sila. So just make sure na yung build at usage mo kay Senna can survive if ever nalapitan siya. And yeah, yung champion design terno naman sa itsura niya eh. Meron siyang BFG, Big Freaking Gun. So hindi sorpresa na mahaba yung range niya, yung damage niya, boom talaga, at mabagal siya gumalaw. And yeah, may rating for Senna, no? Kahit bago siya sa Wild Rift, Senna is actually strong. I would rank her as an S tier support. And I won't be surprised kung magkakaroon ng balancing para kay Senna, especially on her late game form. Pero ang pinakamasaya pa dito is marami pang unexplored elements para kay Senna. What about full crit build Senna? O kaya yan nga, AD Senna. Maybe mid lane Senna. I know it's crazy, but the only way to discover things is through experimenting. Anyway guys, that's it for my video, and that is my guide para sa pinakabagong support champion ng League of Legends Wild Rift, si Senna. Like if you like the video, subscribe to support the channel. Let me know in the comment sections what do you think about Senna. I'm Shibu the One for an eye, always saying na lahat kayong gamers, mabuhay!